championship, you kind of said you wanted to get in there. That was your thing, and you weren't able to. What was that like leading up to that?
Well, I mean, just as it got closer to game time, those kind of opportunities, you gotta, for me, I just had to exhaust all options before, saying, all right, I'm not going to go or something like that. So that's really what that was, to test it and see where it was, and it just, wasn't ready to go. So, we ended up not going.
Was it determined that you couldn't play, and were you good with it, or did you kind of feel that you weren't going to be able to, or?
I mean, we were kind of unsure, but for me, it was more so like I had to really know before I could, live with myself sitting on the sideline for a championship game. So that's really what that was, is just to be, completely sure or unsure that, I could or could not go.
I think you'll play Saturday.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious, but being a senior, your last chance on Saturday, how if you can even walk, are you going to drag yourself out there? I mean, how badly do you want to play on Saturday?
I mean, I really want to play, and obviously we all want that to happen, and so I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that happens, and things have been going really well. We've been progressing in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not doing much practicing. When do you think there's a chance? Is there a plan, I guess, to get out there maybe in the next day or two? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a day-to-day thing, which is kind of the struggle of it, but at the same time, that's the situation. So we just assess it after every day and then go from there.
How frustrating has it been, missing the last 2 games after all you went through last year and stuff, and you're having such a good year, and then to have to miss a couple big games?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not how you picture it all, ending and all that, but I mean, for me, it's just, keep working, put my head down and just try to do whatever I can to get back on the field.
What has stood out to you about the season that Brett's had? And he had the first month probably wasn't the easiest, and you were pretty close with him. What has stood out to you? What he's done?
I think he just kind of started to relax a little bit, and just really get out there and start having fun again, and just slinging the rock around, which I think he does best is when he's just playing loose. He can go out there and really do some damage, and so he's been doing that, great all year, I thought.
I want to ask you about Avery Williams, a guy that you don't really play with him necessarily, but he's been a big weapon for your offense in a way. What has stood out to you about him and the impact he's made on the team?
Yeah, I mean, he's been the same person since he got here when he was redshirting, a fiery guy who's going to get in your face all the time, and that probably frustrates some people, being an incoming freshman doing that. But I mean, obviously he's a great player and gives us really good field position in the punt return game, for our offense to start. So that's huge, little aspects of the game like that people can tend to look away from. But for us, I mean, it's a huge asset. And he's a great player, on defense as well.
Sorry. So have you been, cleared? I mean, is it just a pain tolerance thing, or you still have to be cleared by doctors? Or what?
It's a little bit of everything. Okay. So, I mean, like I said earlier, it's just like a day-to-day, assessment that we do.
What percentage would you say you're at health-wise?
Probably 110 right now.
Out of what? I'm just kidding. With bowl games, why are bowl games important to you guys, and how much do you enjoy them? People can say there's too many or whatever. What do they mean to you guys?
I think one, just to go another chance to go out and compete, and really prove yourself against a non-conference opponent in most cases. So I think it's definitely huge for our programs, getting out there and, showing that we can compete with the Pac-12 or the Big 12, whoever it is. So I think that's really a goal for us. And then also for those younger guys leading to the next season, I think it's definitely a huge, kind of step and milestone, going into an off season of training.
Historically, Boise State's had a ton of success in the Las Vegas Bowl and against Pac-12 teams. Is that a point of pride for this team to keep that going?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whatever game we're in, though, we're going to go out there and compete and, trying to win a game. So, I mean, yeah, it's the Las Vegas Bowl. We've played in it before, but at the same time, we can't fall back on those things. You got to show up and play on Saturday.
You guys haven't played Oregon in some time, not when anyone else or on this team was around the last time you played, but is it like a known rivalry despite the lack of times you've played Oregon between these two schools?
I think a little bit for some guys, probably more than others, just due to where you grew up and stuff like that. But I mean, it's definitely known that, they've competed a few times against each other, and, that's something that we should look at. So, yeah.
What are your emotions kind of like, knowing that your Boise State career only has a couple days left?
I mean, you look back on everything, I think it's a little bittersweet. And all that. I mean, it's been a great time. Won a lot, a couple championships, part of a Fiesta Bowl, and, won a Mountain Championship this year, which is always our main goal. So it's been awesome, and I love this place. It has a, huge place in my heart. But, it's just trying to end it on the right note. On the right note is the goal now. So, that's what we're trying to do.
Just to clarify, is the goal to play? The hope is to play? What is kind of your status?
The goal is to play.
Okay.
With the way that Alec and John kind of tried to step in when you were out. What did you see from those guys? And certainly give an opportunity for John to play a bit and make those catches.
Yeah, I mean, Alec, I thought kept doing what he's been doing all year and did a great job. And for John, I think it was really crucial for him to get some of those reps. And I think it'll be great for him moving forward. Getting those live game reps, because I mean, you can practice a ton, but getting into a game is always a different situation. And I think for him it was great to get that experience, and he's done a great job. And he's continuing to do that, and he will do that.
How big has Sed been for your offense? And you look at what he brought coming over from JUCO. I mean, that first game against Lafayette had like 6 catches in the first quarter, and really has never kind of slowing down.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player with a big play ability all the time. He has some of the best hands I've ever seen. Can make ridiculous catches consistently, and I think that's something for an offense that is a huge asset and something that is really hard to find. So for him, I mean, he's one of those players I'm just really glad he's on my team, and I don't have to play against him.
Harson kind of alluded that maybe, I don't know when it was, early in the season, he spoke to the team and got you guys kind of fired up. He said there were some things that kind of stuck with you guys. Do you remember anything in particular said in front of the team that really stood out to you?
I mean, some of that stuff we keep in the house.
Sure. Harson said it, which I thought
yeah, so we'll keep it like that, but I definitely think he made some huge points that were crucial for this team, to hear at the start of the year, and to know moving forward, and once we're in certain circumstances to, fall back on those things that were said.